Welcome to Movie Buffers. Oh boy, I just saw Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers, and before I get into that, I'm going to ask you to please like and subscribe, smash the bell to get notified when we drop new episodes, and now let's get into it. Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers is directed by Akiva Schaffer. Akiva is one of the founding members of the hilarious hip-hop group The Lonely Island, and he's directed such films as Hot Rod and Popstar, his most notable work, I'd say. And this film stars Andy Samberg as Dale in a very bland, unfunny take on the character. John Mulaney plays Chip, which somehow beats Samberg's performance as most bland in the movie. And I'm a big Lonely Island fan, and I was a big Chip 'n Dale fanatic when I was a young kid. So when I first heard about this, I was a little bit excited. My baby just turned 1 year old, and I was thinking how cool it would be to show him these non-dated version of Rescue Rangers once he's a little bit older. But then I saw the trailer, which featured an ungodly amount of Disney IP characters sharing the world like in Roger Rabbit. And the film has yet to nail down what Roger Rabbit had going for it. For its time, it was like a huge, unique thing, and nothing like it had ever been done before. Cut to this day and age where we literally just got a Space Jam sequel doing the exact same thing this movie did. WB flexing on their licensed characters to drop in the background so we can Easter egg hunt with which characters are more irrelevant to be in that movie. Now, this movie is definitely 3 times better, if not more, than Space Jam 2, but you can tell that this was a project that once had a good thing going for it, but the studio dipped their hands and heads in to make sure that too much fun wasn't to be had with their beloved IP characters that aren't, and then there are some characters that aren't really in the Disney realms at all. It's very touchy, and that's why no jokes seemed to land right, and the cinematography, at least for the first half, was garbage. It trying to film subjects that aren't there and having awkward stand-in characters always feels so weird, and it felt like they edited in the chipmunks over some basic ass B-roll. The animated Dale was a little off-putting to me, and for one of the funniest jokes in the film was the running ugly Sonic bit, but the Dale animation looked really weird too, so why would they give him human blue eyes? The movie has been under production since late 2020, yet it feels rushed. I feel like John Mulaney was a huge miscast. He didn't change his smug Mulaney tone, and it just sounded like him and Andy Samberg running lines for recordings they thought were going to be sped up. And that's another thing I thought was weird. They dipped in and out of the classic sped up chipmunk voices and then would cut back to the human voices. It's like they couldn't decide which one they were going to go with. Oh man. I guess they sound normal to each other, but they sound sped up to bigger creatures and people. I don't know what they were going for here. I don't think it landed very well though. And then so Chip is an insurance agent and he lives a simple life now. Why is this in the movie? People laughed at this in a writer's room somewhere, and it's really fucking stupid. Dale had some CGI surgery that turned him into a CG animated character so that we can have one 2D chipmunk and one stupid current day looking one. And that doesn't change at all. You know, this film just ends with them expecting us to be ready to roll with this weird ratio of modern day and old style animation. So they're off to find Monterey Jack, voiced by Eric Bana. Random. And the rest of the film is a lot of crazy cameos from Disney and other properties. Some were really funny though, so I don't want to completely hate on this film. I know that it probably would have been 3 times more insane if they let the Lonely Island guys have free reign with all of these characters, but unfortunately that's not the case, and it never is with Disney. They want to put out the most bland shit possible, which I believe is strategic, like they're trying to dodge any and all controversies in these really touchy times. Even the new Marvel products, they have really felt Mickey Mouse filtered lately. And the most that you could take out of these films is that they took up time of your life. There's not enough substance or character development for this new generation to care about Rescue Rangers. I mean, how are kids supposed to get any of these references? They were like trying to fan service to an older audience, feeding their nostalgia, but the jokes were so bland and unfunny. So my point is, if you're going to make a movie for kids, tell a new backstory and reboot these characters instead of dropping us in this crazy shared universe filled with inside jokes that kids won't understand and parents are just gonna, kind of shrug at. Anyway, those gripes out of the way, my opinion on this film is that it's fun enough for kids. It's definitely better than the Space Jam sequel, and the third act was actually pretty good. And I felt that the camera started to move with the characters correctly, and it was a more nonstop action. I didn't find the Sweet Pete character to be that funny. I know that that's what they were kind of riding on this whole thing. This film also suffers from having that pandemic vibes going for it. And what I mean by that is that movies and TV shows that were shot and completed during the pandemic have this awkward tone about them. And you can tell a lot more things, including extras, are just fake. That also might be why this film wasn't very funny. But maybe not. Who knows? I'm gonna give Rescue Rangers a C+. Hey, it was fun enough. You know, I'm excited to watch it with my son, and I get to watch these things when I never did. I never did really watch kids' movies after a certain point of childhood. So I mean, in that sense, if you're gonna show it to your kids, I highly recommend it. And that's the show. Please like and subscribe, smash that fucking bell, and leave the comments below, maybe some film suggestions that we should tackle on the show. And this is Movie Buffers. Thanks for watching. See you next time.